Have you ever heard of a man who was paid to curse a nation, but every time he opened his mouth, blessings came out instead? Or a donkey that saw an angel before a prophet did, and then started talking? Well, buckle up, because this is not just a strange tale, it's a true one from the Bible, full of danger, greed, and divine surprises. Long ago, as the Israelites were marching through the wilderness, they came closer to the land of Moab. The king of Moab, a man named Balak, was watching from a distance, and what he saw terrified him. The Israelites had just defeated two strong kings, Sihon and Og. Their numbers were great, and their God was powerful. Balak knew that if they passed through his land, they could crush Moab like dust. So, he decided to fight, but not with swords or spears. No, he wanted a spiritual attack. He sent messengers with money and gifts to a strange prophet named Balaam, who lived far away in the land of Petha, near the Euphrates River. Balaam was known across nations. People believed that whoever he blessed was blessed, and whoever he cursed was cursed. Balak's message to Balaam was simple. A people have come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the earth and are settling near me. Come now, curse them for me, maybe then I'll be able to drive them away. Balaam listened, but he didn't respond immediately. He told the messengers to wait while he spoke with God that night. That night, God came to Balaam. "Who are these men with you?" God asked. Balaam explained the message, but God gave him a clear answer. "Do not go with them. You must not curse those people, for they are blessed." The next morning, Balaam told Balak's men, "Go home. The Lord has refused to let me go with you." The messengers returned to Balak with the bad news. But Balak was stubborn. He thought maybe Balaam just needed a better offer. So he sent more important officials, princes with greater rewards, to tempt Balaam again. They came with a bigger bag of gold and said, "This is what Balak says, don't let anything stop you. I will reward you handsomely. Come and curse these people for me." Balaam replied, "Even if Balak gave me all the silver and gold in his palace, I could not do anything beyond the command of the Lord my God. But stay here tonight. Let me see what else God might say." That night, something strange happened. God told Balaam, "If the men come to call you, go with them. But do only what I tell you." So the next morning, Balaam saddled his donkey and went with the Moabite princes. But this is where things took a sudden and mysterious turn. Even though God had given permission, something was not right. As Balaam rode along, God's anger burned, because Balaam's heart was greedy. He wanted the rewards more than he wanted to obey. So the angel of the Lord stood in the road to block him. But Balaam didn't see the angel. His donkey did. And what happened next was something no one, not even Balaam, could have expected. Balaam sat tall on his donkey, proud and focused. The Moabite officials rode behind him, watching the great prophet who was supposed to curse a nation. But little did they know that this journey would turn into one of the strangest moments in all of Scripture. As they rode through a narrow path between the vineyards, something invisible to Balaam appeared ahead. The angel of the Lord stood in the road with a drawn sword, ready to stop them. His eyes were fierce, and his presence was terrifying. But Balaam couldn't see him. The donkey could. The donkey froze. It turned off the road and walked into a field. Balaam grew furious. "What are you doing?" He shouted and beat the donkey with a stick, trying to force it back on the path. So the donkey went back onto the road. But again, the angel of the Lord stood in front of them, this time in a narrow path with stone walls on both sides. There was no space to turn. The donkey, afraid, pressed against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot. Balaam screamed in pain and struck the donkey again. Still, the angel moved ahead one more time, this time standing in an even tighter spot where there was no room to move left or right. The donkey saw him again. Terrified, it did the only thing it could think of. It lay down under Balaam. Now Balaam was boiling with rage. He raised his stick and beat the poor animal again. And right at that moment, something unbelievable happened. God opened the donkey's mouth. Yes, the donkey spoke. "What have I done to you to make you beat me 3 times?" Balaam didn't even seem surprised. Maybe he was too angry to notice how crazy this moment was. "You've made a fool of me," Balaam yelled. If I had a sword, I'd kill you right now." But the donkey replied, "Am I not your donkey, the one you've always ridden? Have I ever done this to you before?" Balaam paused. "No," he admitted. And just then, God opened Balaam's eyes. He finally saw what the donkey had been seeing all along, the angel of the Lord standing in front of them with a drawn sword. Balaam fell face down on the ground, trembling. The angel spoke. "Why have you beaten your donkey 3 times? I have come to stop you because your path is reckless before me. The donkey saw me and turned away 3 times. If it hadn't, I would have killed you and spared the donkey." Balaam's lips shook. He bowed low and cried out, "I have sinned. I didn't know you were standing in the road. If you want, I'll turn back now." But the angel said, "Go with the men, but speak only what I tell you." So Balaam continued on, his heart no longer proud, but deeply shaken. And behind him walked a donkey, still silent, but the only creature who had truly understood the fear of the Lord that day. Now, the stage was set. Balaam would soon stand on a high mountain, face the army of Israel, and try to speak the curse Balak wanted. But what would come out of his mouth? Only heaven knew. When Balaam finally arrived in Moab, King Balak was waiting, dressed in royal robes and burning with excitement. He marched out to meet the prophet and said, "What took you so long? Didn't I send for you with honor? I can make you rich." But Balaam raised a hand calmly and replied, "I have come, but I can't say whatever I want. I can only speak the words God puts in my mouth." Balak nodded, pretending to agree, but deep down, he believed money could still control the outcome. He took Balaam up a mountain called Bamoth-Bal, a place where they could see a part of the Israelite camp below. From there, Balak hoped Balaam would finally release the curse and weaken the people. Before Balaam said anything, he told Balak to build 7 altars and offer 7 bulls and 7 rams, 1 on each altar. Balak obeyed. Then Balaam went off alone, hoping God would speak to him again. And God did. When Balaam returned, he stood tall before the king and opened his mouth. But instead of a curse, he blessed Israel. "How can I curse those God has not cursed? How can I condemn those God has not condemned? They are a people set apart. Let me die the death of the righteous." Balak jumped up, furious. "What have you done? I brought you here to curse them, not bless them." Balaam shrugged. "Did I not tell you I can only say what God puts in my mouth?" But Balak wasn't done. He dragged Balaam to another mountain, Mount Pisgah, where they could see another portion of the Israelites. Maybe a different angle would help. Again, Balaam told him to build 7 more altars with 7 bulls and rams. Again, Balaam stepped aside, and again, when he returned, blessings poured out. God is not a man, that he should lie. No curse can stand against Israel. The shout of a king is among them. The Lord their God is with them. Balak couldn't believe his ears. "If you won't curse them, at least don't bless them," he shouted. But Balaam replied calmly, "Did I not tell you? I must say whatever God tells me." Still, Balak wouldn't quit. He took Balaam to a 3rd place, Mount Peor, hoping maybe the 3rd time would work. 7 more altars. 7 more sacrifices. And when Balaam looked down at Israel, something shifted. The Spirit of God came powerfully upon him. He didn't even go off alone this time. He prophesied right on the spot, loudly and boldly. "How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob! Like gardens beside a river, like trees planted by the Lord. Blessed is the one who blesses you, and cursed is the one who curses you." That was the final straw. Balak's face turned red with rage. "I called you to curse my enemies, and 3 times you have blessed them. Go home. I'll give you nothing." But Balaam replied, "Even if you offered me a palace full of gold and silver, I could not go against the command of the Lord. Before I leave, let me tell you what this people will do to your people in the future." And then Balaam gave one last prophecy, a vision of the future that reached all the way to the coming of the Messiah. "A star will rise from Jacob. A scepter will come out of Israel. He will crush the heads of Moab, and rule over many nations." That prophecy was about Jesus Christ, the King of Kings who would one day come from Israel to rule the whole world. And with that, Balaam went home. Balak was left humiliated, with no curse, no reward, and no way to stop the power of God. And the donkey, it never spoke again. It didn't need to. Because sometimes, one act of obedience, one moment of seeing what others can't, is enough to change the story forever. And this story teaches us that what God has blessed no man can curse. If he can make a donkey to speak, he can also change your story as long as you have faith. Subscribe for more interesting videos like this. Thank you.